It's 2 Tech coming online for you today, giving you reviews on some of my latest and favorite tech gadgets. So today I'm going to be comparing the AirPod 1's or AirPod first generations against the AirPod Pros or the AirPod third generations. So if you already have the AirPod 1's and you already decided to upgrade, skip out on the 2's and go straight to the Pros. The 2's really have the same features as the 1's, and you're just spending more money for the same product. You're going to get more bang for your buck if you go with the Pros. So the biggest upgrade coming with the Pros is the 3 different listening modes, which you can switch between easily. That's the neutral mode, transparency mode, and noise cancellation mode. Transparency mode is something probably new to you and something I haven't seen on any other device. It's really cool actually, in which it's like being given a superpower. So it acts as the opposite of noise cancellation mode, in which it enhances the background sounds around you while you're listening to what you're already listening to on your device, and it will just kind of dim or muffle the sounds on your device. For example, if you're riding the train and you want to listen in on what the conductor is calling out, the stops that they're calling out, but you also want to listen to some music, you can have this mode on to make sure that you're hearing every stop. It's going to like enhance that so you hear it better. The side effect of actually having the transparency mode on is you would actually listen to conversations more easily around you. The words would become more clear at distances that without the headphones you normally wouldn't be able to hear, and the person or people probably wouldn't even know. The noise cancellation mode is probably a feature you are already more familiar with or something you at least heard of. It's actually pretty impressive that they were able to install this technology in smaller wireless earbuds as opposed to over-the-head headphones. The Pros do have wireless charging over the 1's. The fact if this is a feature or not is debatable. Most people say they wouldn't find themselves using this feature, but I found the more I force myself to use it has become my main way to charge actually. Whether you're sitting down at work, home, or school, you're constantly picking them up and down, so it becomes more convenient and quicker to just set it on a pad versus getting a cable and finagling with it to get it through the port. Now, I know what you're thinking, it's a literal difference of seconds, but it's all cumulative and adds up over time. The other trade-offs being charging on a wireless pad does take longer than having it wired in, but even so, the more you use the port and a cable, the more you take it in and out, the more it deteriorates both the cable and the port. So you'll end up replacing cables over time, or even your charging case over time, and versus just having one wireless charging pad that you most likely won't have to replace. Like I said, it's really up to you if you want to get into the habit of charging it wirelessly. But like I said earlier, that's why I would skip out on the 2's anyways, because that's really just the main feature coming out of the 1's. Just go ahead and skip out on the 2's if you're looking to upgrade. I haven't had any problem with the battery life on the headphones for the 1's or the 2's. The battery life usually lasts you a full day or even more, and each individual headphones comes with its own battery or juice in addition to the case themselves. The case themselves hold around 2 to 3 charges, full charges for your headphones, so you can charge your headphones throughout the day when you're taking them on and off. And it takes around half an hour to fully charge either the headphones or the case. This gives you actually more time to charge your battery, because most of the time you'll probably just be running around with one cable anyways, or just have one port to connect to. And what's cool is you can check the battery status of each individual headphone, so both the left and the right, on your phone in addition to the case, so you know exactly how much battery you have left throughout the day. Some quick differences you can notice right off the bat just by visually looking at them is the cases themselves. AirPod 1's have a more square-shaped case, while the AirPod Pros have a more rectangular-shaped case. And I guess that's just because the headphones are getting bigger, so it just needs a bigger shape to occupy them. So let's go ahead and compare the AirPods themselves. You have the AirPod 1's here, and the AirPod Pros or AirPod third generations here. The first thing you can see is the stem. The AirPod Pros does have a shorter stem, and the AirPod 1's have a much longer stem. And I haven't really seen much of a difference from this. Whether they having a shorter or longer stem helps you keep it in your ear, better. Maybe longer is better, because here you can see it barely fits in my finger, and I can see, it hasn't happened to me, but I can probably tell like other people might lose grip of this because of the shorter stem. And the AirPod 1s does have kind of the speaker at the bottom, which the AirPod Pros don't. And also the stem, AirPod Pros has this button that you can click to interact with the AirPods and when it's connected to your phone, whether you're listening to music or something. I can talk about more about that later. There are a total of 3 speakers on the AirPod Pros. So you have this one on the back, which the AirPod 1s also have, but it's smaller. You have this one on the side, which the AirPod Pros also, or the AirPod 1s also have. Then you have this one on the bottom, which the AirPod 1s don't have. So this one has 1, 2, 3 speakers, excluding or 4 speakers, including the tip, and the AirPod 1s have 1, 2, 3, only 3 speakers. Well, one more on the bottom, so that's 4 and 4 each for the AirPods. The biggest difference I would say coming out of the AirPods themselves is this one now has a mesh covering. So this, I guess, it gives it a more sportsy look or sportsy feel. This does help it keep in your ear longer. And if you're working out, the AirPod Pros is definitely the way to go versus the AirPod 1s. The AirPod 1s is pretty much the same headphones as the wired headphones, but without it wired, right? And if you ever tried working out in your wired headphones, they do tend to fall out a lot. So I wouldn't suggest this for working out or any physical activity. If the AirPod Pros is kind of like a workout AirPods versus non-workout. So you decide if you want to upgrade to the Pros or not from the 1s. I did the switch and upgraded, even though I had the 1s for about 3-4 years going strong, and they worked wonders for me. They were one of my most used gadgets ever. I just always found them reliable, and I always had them on me. But the Pros are definitely something worth upgrading for. So the decision's on you, but that's my wrap on the comparison of the two.